What's up, guys? This is Clark Farhenthold back with VegasOdds.com. Fresh off the first given win of the year. All-Star game, under 8 runs. Who would have thought? I did. Hopefully you threw some good units down there. Hopefully you made a little cash kickback for yourself enjoying this weekend here with that. But, I figured going into this next one, what white whale I'd want to reel in for us this time. And I figured, with how we did on baseball last time, why don't we continue with that theme, but a little bit more unorthodox about which route we're going to go with baseball. To anyone who's been paying attention to the baseball world, you would know, obviously, the MLB trade deadline is fast approaching. And possibly the biggest name, maybe ever, is currently on the trading table, and Juan Soto. So what I was thinking is that who do I think Juan Soto is most likely to end up on? When looking through all the odds and looking through everything that I know, everything that I've combined that I'll explain to you, I think the San Diego Padres at plus 700 are the most likely to make this trade happen, and their odds are quite good for you to make some money. So at plus 700, the San Diego Padres currently sit there for the ability to get Juan Soto. And I think the reason the Padres make the most sense is because it breaks down to 3 crucial points. First, the trade capital that they possess. Second, a GM and ownership group that is willing to make the move. And 3, also an owner that is willing to extend Soto and give him that lucrative contract of which he seeks. Starting with the trade capital the Padres possess. If you're the Nationals, which you always have to consider the other half of the side of this deal, the Nationals want players who are top-end prospects who aren't super far away from being at that major league level. So when you look at these teams like St. Louis, like Seattle, like the Dodgers, they all possess the same prospects. And some of them may even have guys ready to go up now, but they don't have the number that are considered elite and as close as ready as the Padres do. In a package to Juan Soto, I would imagine it would include stud rookie Mackenzie Gore, another guy like C.J. Abrams, who's been a top prospect for years inside the top 10, Luis Campusano, who's been inside the top 50 as a catcher, who's got great pop out of that bat. And then also, I think you'd have to consider probably one of the most underrated prospects in my mind, who's currently sitting at number 26 in MLB.com's rankings, of Robert Hassel III. Had a great showing in the MLB Futures game. I think your combination of those 4 guys, who are legitimately all top 50 prospects in their day, 2 of them even being inside the top 10 at one point, you have to be considering that if you're the Nationals. You're not really going to find that combination in terms of capital elsewhere. And if the Padres really needed to, they have guys at the professional level that they could toss in as well, too, that would be enticing. You could throw in a guy like Tresh in there. You could throw a guy like Esteury Ruiz in there if you really wanted to, who just got called up. The options are plentiful. And again, I just don't know when you look around if the Giants can match that, if the Cardinals can match that, if Seattle can match that. I don't know. The Yankees probably can, but I don't know with the Yankees with their ownership right now that they want to do that. So for the capital, the Padres, I think, have the best and most high-end ready for the Nationals. Second component that I talked about that I want to go into further detail would be the way the Padres have a GM that knows he needs to make this move in A.J. Preller. Look, if you paid attention to the Padres last year at all, the second half was complete collapse because in a lot of people's minds, everything went downhill after they botched the deadline. That was all on A.J. Preller's hands when they failed to get Max Scherzer, and he ended up going to the Dodgers along with Trey Turner to the Dodgers as well. And I think he knows he can't let that happen, and I think he knows that he's one bad second half away from axe CAJ. So for me, he's the aggressor in this situation yet again. He's the guy who I think he knows this has to happen. He has to make some sort of big splash. He has to get this team another offensive bat that it's dying for in the outfield. And Juan Soto makes simply too much sense. It's right there for him. I don't think he's going to be willing, I don't think he's going to be scared to go out there and give away these prospects, because a lot of times some people are latched onto this idea of prospect hoarding. But frankly, AJ, I think, knows he can't do that. And with the prospects that he's had and the scouting ability that he has himself in drafting, he knows he can replenish the farm. And I think he knows these guys are enough to make the move. And I think he's going to be willing to do it. And third, almost going hand in hand with the GM, my third point is you have to have an owner who's willing to spend the money and be willing to give Soto this contract extension. And the Padres have that too, again, in Peter Seidler. Peter Seidler has probably proven more than any single Padres owner, possibly in recent memory, last 20, 30 years, that he wants to have a winner for this team. He has expressed that he is willing to go over the luxury tax for the right player. I don't think, again, like I said, there will ever be a more pronounced and perfect fit than Juan Soto to the San Diego Padres. He fits perfectly in right field. He knows that if he gives him this contract for the next 10, 15 years, for whatever it is, even after Machado's gone, he'll have guys like Tatis and Juan Soto at the top of his lineup. And even for another 5, 6 years in there now, he'll have possibly a 1 through 3 that will consist of Fernando Tatis, Juan Soto, and Manny Machado. That's 3 MVP guys, 3 consistent all-stars hitting at the top of your lineup. He wants to make it happen because he wants a winner so dang bad. When you combine all these things that we're looking at, the prospect capital, the GM that knows he needs to make the move and is aggressive enough to make that move, and the owner who can spend and dish out the cash to keep Soto around longer than his remaining 3 years of control, the Padres at plus 700 is almost too good not to take. Now, I understand, again, I'm not ignoring the fact that teams like the Dodgers aren't out there and couldn't just do the same thing that they did to the Padres last year with the Max Scherzer trade and swoop into the last second and get him. But I think, again, I don't think AJ Preller is going to let that happen this time around. So, Padres plus 700, I see them as the favorites to come out there and get the Juan Soto deal of a lifetime for themselves. And I think it really helps the Padres push towards a World Series championship contender status that they already are, but it just gets them a little bit further up that notch. For VegasOdds.com, I'm Clark Farhenthold. Let's see how this plays out.